Welcome to another video. My name is Abby, and today I got a couple questions for you. Are you tired of basically trying really hard and seeing no results in your manifestation and your financial situation and your love situation? Or maybe it feels, well, no matter what you do, that thing you really want is outside your reach. Or maybe you're trying and whatever it is you're doing, at the end of the day, it seems like nothing helps. Well, for one, I totally feel you. That is so frustrating, irritating, maddening, all the things in between, right? The good news is this video is going to help you understand why that's happening, but more importantly, it's going to help show you what you can do to move out of that dynamic and move towards the thing that you really want in life. Before I do that, I want to let you know that if you are interested in working with me one-on-one so we can work together and specifically talk about your specific blocks or your specific situation, it's a good time to do so. I'm offering my donation-based payment system, meaning that if you have $30, that's the minimum payment, that's what you have, great, we'll work together. If you want to leave more, you can do so in the tip option. And either way, I look forward to helping you in your specific situation to see how these things apply directly, help you unearth things that potentially have been in your way all this time. At the end of the day, create the life that you really want to live based on the things that you want in life. So if you're interested in that, all the info is below in the link. Let's get back to the video. So you're over here, you're trying really hard, you're doing the best you can, and it doesn't seem to be working. For one, let's just be real, that can be so freaking frustrating, right? Like I've been there before and it's terrible, right? All the effort out and nothing back. It's like the visual I have is basically you're putting in a dollar into like a vending machine and none of the buttons are working. More. You look over, someone's putting in a dollar and getting out whatever it is the vending machine sells, right? You don't want that, right? You want to put in a dollar, get out a dollar, right? Ideally, put in a dollar, get out $3. Either way, this current dynamic is like, geez, I'm going to run out of resources and I'm not even getting anything. Nothing's filling my cup. What we know is that this has a lot to do with your subconscious, right? You don't ever get in life what you're really wanting, but you're always going to get a reflection of who you are being, what your thoughts and your feelings. What fuels your thoughts and feelings? Not your conscious brain, or you would have freaking changed it by now and you wouldn't be watching this video. But your unconscious brain, oftentimes people think that they manifest from their conscious brain and you don't. You manifest your deep down beliefs about yourself, also known as your unconscious, your subconscious beliefs. Now I'm making this video because I've been asked the question, how the hell do you uncover something that you don't even know about? Well, good news is that you have a lot of information to help you trace it back. How? Where's this information coming from, Abby? Well, it's coming from your life. Neville Goddard said that your level of consciousness is expressed in your outside world, right? We know that manifestation is a revelation. It's revealing to you what your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs about yourself are. So we don't have to go really far before you can start understanding, okay, do I keep manifesting rejection? Do I keep manifesting abandonment? Right? You do not deserve that. That is not a reflection of your worth. That is a reflection of a belief that is outside your conscious awareness. Meaning that if we were in a dark room, right, and I had a flashlight and it was only pointed at like the corner behind me, there's an entire other room. There's 3 other walls. And yet all I can see is that small area. So there's a lot of potential situations that you experience where you gave yourself a meaning and a value. That meaning and value that you maybe got when you were 7, 8, 4, 3, whatever years old is actually running your life, is actually the one making decisions. So, okay, now that we've established that you're manifesting or you're creating from that deep pain that you're afraid, really that where that fear is, right, when you feel unsafe, that if you're going to move towards a connection, you're going to be abandoned, you're responding based off the past and you're essentially bringing that into the present moment. Don't worry, I don't have my whiteboard, but I have something else. I have basically its cousin. So when you have these unconscious beliefs and these views and values of yourself, it's the same as like right now what I can see, right? Very clear. But if I put on the distortion of this, I think you can see them. I know that there's a small reflection. I'm going to move like this. A small reflection from my window that has some beautiful natural light. But you can see, I mean, gotta be honest, I can't see shit in these things. It is so distorted. So if these were completely blacked out, I could barely see anything going on. So you're like, well, Abby, that seems terrible. How in the world will I ever begin to understand what I'm not understanding of? Well, you got to be aware that this is how you're seeing the world right now. You're seeing the world through a distorted view. You're seeing the world through a perceptional bias. The only thing I've got filters of abandonment and say lack, right? The blue is abandonment and green is lack, or I'm not good enough, or whatever the case. So I'm looking out into the world to see through there. So I can't see the world as it is. Now I can. It's beautiful. Wow, it's so much, the color's so much better than these. What you got to understand is, okay, if I'm finding in my life right now rejection, abandonment, or lack of finances, lack of love, whatnot, what is it that I believe about myself to be true? What happened to me early on that maybe if I have a fear of abandonment, if I start leaving myself in if a situation comes up where I have a chance for this interaction with somebody and I feel connection that is potential, do I get really clingy? Do I get needy? Do I get anxious? I want to move forward. I want a text from them. If they don't text me, if they're not obsessed with me, then I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh, this person's being too much. I can't take this. I got to get out. Those are both wounds from your past, right? Those are essentially attachment styles based on previous wounds, traumas, distortions, whatever you want to call it, from past relationships. So what do you got to see? You got to see, what is your life expressing? Are you getting abandonment? Are you getting rejection? Okay, now you already know, I am experiencing rejection and abandonment. Why? Okay, I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that this person's going to leave me. Why? Because if they knew who I really was, then they wouldn't really like me. I need to be somebody else to stay in this connection. There's a specific storyline, and story meaning that you had a situation and you created a meaning about yourself. That is a story. The acceptance of it being true is what creates your belief. That's it. A belief is basically a loyalty to something, to an idea. And you're giving this idea that you're not valuable your loyalty. So when you start to see, okay, what lens am I looking out into the world with? You have to uncover that, because how do I know that this is here? How do I remove this? Well, first I have to know it's here. Then I can start saying, oh, okay, no, I recognize that when I was younger, the caretaker that I had in my life was really emotionally unavailable or inconsistent, not because they're bad or wrong, but because they were tending to a lot in life. Maybe I had a lot of siblings. Maybe there was a financial struggle. Maybe they were going through an emotional turmoil in relationships. Okay, I got to recognize it's here, where it came from. Okay, actually, I was always freaking worthy. I always mattered. I always had value. I didn't think I did. Oh my God, I was a kid. My God, all this time I've been living with my value of me as a kid to be true. Okay, well, now that I see it, I'm going to start removing it. Now I'm going to have an opportunity and something's going to come up in my life. I've got to recognize, look at my blue fingers. I've got to recognize that I have had that view. And when I look out into the world, I'm going to look through a perceptual lens of abandonment. When I look for abandonment, when I move into jealousy, when I have suspicion, distrust, anxiety, or envy, when I'm comparing, I know I'm being jealous. I'm afraid of being abandoned. Okay. Do I leave myself for the other person? Do I make their judgment of me more important than my own? Do I make their value of me more important than my own? God, why won't this person call me? If they did, I would feel better. They have my power. I wish that they would give it to me. That's essentially what you're saying. So what you got to see is when you're doing that in the moment, recognizing that this exists, that this filter exists. Okay, recognize in that moment, what choice are you going to make in the heat of the moment when it all comes together, because it will be relationally how it works out. When you're in a safe environment relationally, that is how it'll eventually heal. How you get to a subconscious belief is to first look into the world and see what you're experiencing. What meaning do you give yourself about that experience? And if you say, oh, I don't care if I'm rejected, that doesn't bother me, I need you to get real with yourself, because why would you be watching this video if whatever it is that you were experiencing didn't bother you. You have to go deeper. You have to get real on how you feel. Even if you're disassociating from that experience, those emotions are still dictating your experience. So as you start getting real with how you're feeling, how it makes you feel to be rejected, what value you're giving, what meaning you're giving, if that person doesn't choose you, you're the one that's giving yourself the lower value and they're the higher value. That's the first step, self-abandonment. Okay, I abandoned myself. I am no longer willing to do that. I have to be aware of how I'm feeling in the moment. What are my subconscious beliefs? What are my past wounds, my past trauma? What did I think that meant about me? All of these different layers of ways to get to the root are ways to get to your subconscious beliefs. What meaning did you give? I have to abandon myself to stay in connections, to stay in relationships. I can't be myself and be in relationships, or I have to do all the work in relationships, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not important enough to be in relationships. I'm not valuable to have somebody interested in me. I need to do more. I need to work for it. I need to work really hard to maintain the connection. Those are all potential dynamics of when you were younger, and then bringing them into your current day relationship, even if you're unaware of them, and they keep coming off the screen of this other person. You're projecting them out. You're only finding that. And then you're saying, I don't know how to do it. I don't know where, there's no information. Information is everywhere. If you're willing to see it, if you're willing to feel it. It can be uncomfortable, it can be painful, and this is the way for you to start creating new beliefs, so you can use affirmations to water them and nurture them and strengthen them, and visualizations to help continue to see that vision of what you really want and how you want your life to be. The more you unearth them, the more they come to light and can be healed, and they no longer have power over your future. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, click that little like button below. If you haven't done so already, join this community by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to see more things such as this and other wacky explanations about how it all works, I suggest you watch this video if this was valuable to you. And I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.